Level 1. The Grunt. You are 12 years old. You live in Pallet Town. Your dad left when you were 6. Your mom works double shifts at the Pokemon Center front desk, and she smells like antiseptic when she comes home. You are not a trainer. You never got a starter. Professor Oak ran out before he got to you, and everyone in town knows it, and nobody says anything about it because that is just how it goes for kids like you. You spend most afternoons at the edge of Route 1, watching other kids walk out with their Pokemon like the world handed them something it never handed you. You are not bitter. Not yet. You just want in on something. Anything. That is when the man in black finds you. He is not threatening about it. He crouches down, looks you in the eye, and tells you he has been watching you for a few weeks. He says most kids your age are soft. He says you are not soft. He slides a folded piece of paper into your hand. There is a red R on the front. He tells you to show up to the address on the back tomorrow morning if you want a Pokemon of your own. He stands up and walks back toward the Viridian City without another word. You do not sleep that night. You stare at the ceiling and think about what it would feel like to have something that was yours, something that chose you back. You show up, and just like that, you are a grunt. The uniform is stiff, and it smells like someone else wore it before you. They give you a Zubat. It is not what you imagined, but it is yours, and that matters more than you expected. The work is simple at first. Stand here. Watch this door. Carry this crate from one place to another, and do not ask what is inside. You do it, you are good at it, you are quiet and fast, and you never complain. And the older grunts notice that about you. The other grunts are not like you. Most of them are adults who ran out of options. A few of them are angry in a way that has nowhere to go. There is one, though, a guy named Marcus, who takes you under his arm. He teaches you how to battle properly, how to read your opponent before they move, how to keep your Pokemon calm under pressure. He is the closest thing to a mentor you have ever had. You trust him. Here is what nobody tells you about being at the bottom. The missions are not glamorous, but they teach you something real. You learn how the whole machine works from the ground up. You are stealing fossils from Mount Moon. You are running interference at the game corner in Celadon. You are watching exits at Sylph Company while the higher-ups do the important work upstairs. And every single time, you are watching, memorizing, figuring out who gives the orders and why and how the people above you think. Your Zubat evolves into a Golbat. You win 3 straight battles against grunts who have been here twice as long as you. Someone above you starts to notice. Level 2. The admin. You are 16 now, 4 years in, and they pull you into a room you have never been in before. It is underground, beneath the hideout, in Celadon, and it is quieter than anything you have ever heard. A woman sits across from you. Her name is Ariana. She is calm in a way that feels like a warning. She tells you that you have been flagged. She says the organization does not promote based on loyalty. It promotes based on usefulness. She asks you what you can do that no one else in your unit can do. You tell her the truth. You say you can read people. You say you have spent 4 years watching how every grunt, every officer, every admin in your unit makes decisions, and you've never seen anyone account for the thing that always goes wrong, which is the person they did not expect. You say you can account for that person. She looks at you for a long time. She does not smile. She just says, "Good. You are an admin now. You have real authority. You run a unit of 12 grunts. You coordinate missions across 2 routes, and you report directly to the executive level. The work is harder and the stakes are higher, and for the first time, when something goes wrong, it is your fault, and something does go wrong. Marcus, your old mentor, the guy who taught you everything in those first 2 years, gets caught running a side operation. He has been skimming from mission halls and selling information to a rival faction trying to undercut the organization from inside. Giovanni's people find out. Marcus gets removed, and when the investigation runs back through his unit, your name comes up because you were close to him. They pull you in, They ask you what you knew. You tell them the truth, which is nothing, because it is the truth, but it does not feel like enough. You sit in that room for 3 hours while someone you have never met reads through 4 years of your file, and then they let you go. No explanation, just a nod and a door. You walk out of that room different. You understand now what this organization actually is. It is not a family, it is a machine. And the machine does not care about you. It cares about whether you are still useful. So, you make a decision right there in that hallway. You are going to become so useful that no one ever puts you in that room again. You go back to work. You are harder now, more precise. You stop making friends inside the organization and start making allies, which is a different thing entirely. An ally is someone who needs you as much as you need them. A friend is just a liability waiting to happen. You learn that from Marcus, just not the way he intended. Your Golbat evolves into a Crobat. You take it as a sign. Some things only get stronger when they trust you completely. Level 3. The Executive. You are 20 years old, 8 years in. They give you a white uniform and a new name inside the organization. You are no longer the kid from Pallet Town who never got a starter. You are an executive now, one of 4 people in the entire organization who sits directly beneath Giovanni. You have Archer to your left, and Proton to your right, and Ariana across the table. And every single one of them is watching you the same way you used to watch the older grunts back when you were 12. The missions at this level are not about crates and doorways anymore. You are coordinating the takeover of the Goldenrod radio tower. You are overseeing the Lake of Rage operation, where the organization is using radio waves to force Pokemon to evolve against their will. You know it is cruel. You do not let yourself sit with that knowledge too long. You file it away and keep moving, because that is what this level requires. But there is something happening that you cannot file away. Archer comes to you one night with a proposition. He tells you Giovanni has been unreachable for months. He tells you the organization is running on inertia and that someone needs to step into that vacuum before it collapses. He tells you it should be the 2 of you together and that the other executives will follow if you both move at the same time. You listen to everything he says, you nod in the right places, and then you go back to your room and you sit with it for a long time because you have been in this organization long enough to know what this actually is. It is a test, or it is a trap, or it is both. Archer is smart, but he is impatient, and impatient people always move too early. You decide you will not move with him. You go to Giovanni's secretary the next morning. You report the conversation in full. Not because you are loyal in the way you used to understand loyalty, but because you have learned something in 8 years that most people in this organization never figure out. The person who brings the information is never the one who gets removed. The person who withholds it is. 3 days later, Archer is reassigned to a remote operation in Johto. He does not come back to the inner circle. And now there are 3 executives, not 4. You are the youngest. You are the one Giovanni's secretary calls first when he needs something moved quietly. You are not the most powerful person in the room yet, but you are the most indispensable, which is actually better. Giovanni calls you in personally for the first time. The office is exactly what you imagined and nothing like what you imagined at the same time. It is clean, quiet. There's a Persian asleep on the desk, and Giovanni stands at the window with his back to you for a long time before he turns around. He looks at you the way you used to look at those kids on Route 1, like he already knows exactly what you are and what you are worth. He says he has watched you since the beginning. He says the scout who found you in Pallet Town filed a report that said you were different. He says he has been waiting to see if the report was right. He asks you one question. He asks what you want. You think about the 12-year-old standing at the edge of Route 1. You think about the uniform that smelled like someone else. You think about Marcus and the room they put you in, and Archer and every single choice that brought you to this office. You tell him you want what he built. You want the whole thing. He smiles. It does not reach his eyes. He says most people who sit in that chair lie to him. He says you are the first one in a long time who told the truth. He slides a card across the desk. There is no name on it, just a red R. You have seen this card before. You got one just like it when you were 12 years old, standing on a dirt road outside Pallet Town, wondering if the world was ever going to let you in. The difference is that this time you are not being recruited. You are being handed the keys. Level 4, the boss. You are 23 years old. You run Team Rocket. Giovanni does not disappear dramatically. He just steps back, quietly, methodically, the way he does everything. He moves to the background and the organization shifts toward you the way water finds a new path. The grunts do not know your name yet, but they will. The admins know your name. The remaining executives know your name, and they are careful around you now in a way they never were before, because careful is the right response to someone who just outmaneuvered everyone above them without ever raising their voice. The Persian stays in the office. You leave it there. Some things are worth keeping. The first week, you sit in Giovanni's chair, and you do not move for a long time. You think about what this organization actually is. It is not evil in the cartoon sense. It is a machine built on information, leverage, and the willingness to do what everyone else is too afraid to do. You have been inside that machine for 11 years. You know every gear. You know which ones are stripped and which ones still have teeth. You start making changes. Small ones at first, because the fastest way to lose control of a machine is to change too many things at once. You promote 2 grunts who remind you of yourself at 12. You cut 3 operations that were bleeding resources for no return. You move the Lake of Rage project to a different team and give it a longer timeline. Because forcing evolution is a long game, and the organization has been playing it like it is urgent. You are not in a hurry. That is the thing about reaching the top that nobody tells you. The urgency goes away. When you were a grunt, everything felt like it had to happen right now, or it would never happen. When you are the boss, you understand that time is the one resource that actually compounds. You can afford to wait. You can afford to be patient. And patience in this world is the most dangerous thing anyone can have. There will be a trainer who comes for you eventually. There always is. Someone young and stubborn and completely unconcerned with how the world actually works, who will walk through every operation you have built and dismantle it piece by piece out of sheer refusal to lose. You know this is coming. You are not afraid of it, because here is what that trainer will never understand about you. You started with nothing. You were the kid who did not get a starter. You were the grunt in the stiff uniform carrying crates and not asking questions. You survived betrayal and investigations and the slow erosion of everyone you trusted. You got here not because the world gave you something, but because you watched long enough to understand exactly how it worked. And then you worked harder than anyone around you to take your place inside it. That trainer is going to beat you, maybe. And if they do, you will disappear the way Giovanni did, quietly, methodically, and you will wait. Because the machine does not stop. It just finds a new path, and you built it